Trust yourself. Heed the call. You never know what's on the other side. And someone is waiting, perhaps, for the message that you have for them. You just never know. And even if the message isn't for them, it's an opportunity for them to tune in to themselves. Hi, welcome to the Connect with Sheila Botelho podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, self-care strategist, and creator of the Seasons Self-Care app. I'm committed to helping you reconnect to your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. You're listening to a Monday mini-sode where I share an insight designed to help you live into what lights you up this week. And today I wanted to share something that came from a few experiences over the last couple of weeks where I was doing some inner work personally, and I had some downloads of some things that I wanted to share with key people in my life. And the idea for this is for you to take away something that I believe has been a very, very powerful prompt in my life and habit. And one that when I've not done it, I've noticed something shift inside of me, and not necessarily for the better. You may have heard me be speaking more and more about self-trust and the importance of building the self-trust muscle in yourself. The reason why I talk about this so much is because lots of the things that we want to do in our life and what we may limit ourselves from doing often will stem from what we haven't done. What we haven't done yet, we're not familiar with it, or where we've made plans and we've not followed through on them. And so we kind of erode our self-trust. And one of the things that I've been doing over the last number of years that I found incredibly powerful for me to help me build the self-trust is to be really in tune with when I have downloads coming to me that I either need to act on, speak to, or share. The power of this podcast is that I get to share many of these downloads with you. And even more beautiful than that is you get to listen, run them through your own purpose filter, your own internal connector and judgment filter, if you will, and decide, is this something for me or is it not? Or is it something that maybe I can pass on to someone because perhaps it will help them? Or is it something that really resonates and that you can take action on yourself? That's the power of this podcast. It's not that every single thing that I share with you is going to be like, oh, yes, awesome, I need to do that. Frankly, if that was the case, you'd probably be in a really large state of overwhelm, because aren't we inundated with so many ideas, so many people saying so many different things, and we can feel like we need to take action on them all right away. Well, I'm going to share a little story about something that happened to me recently where it highlighted this in the most beautiful way. And it made me feel even more connected to my intuition, which is something that is my biggest superpower for growing anything in my life, whether it's my beautiful relationship with my husband, my parenting of my kiddos, my business, my well-being. It's all started with my intuition. So this is what I want to share. I had been reading some things, listening to some things, and then noodling over these ideas on walks, which of course, that's what I do, right? That's where it all comes together for me. And I heard a couple of really powerful questions that I wanted to look into and explore myself. And as I was going through that process, and I'd actually taken myself through the process and felt the power of it immediately, I felt called to share it with some very close friends, business besties, people who mean a lot to me, people who I know are on the spiritual journey, who are also on a growth trajectory, whether it's in their personal or professional lives. And so when I did that, I did it open-handed, here's something that I found a lot of value in. I felt called to share it with you. Do with it what you will if you need to in this season of your life. Maybe it's something you can return to another time. I just found it really impactful and I thought you might appreciate it. And so I messaged some friends and did that. And what was so cool was the responses. Every single person responded to me. And some were like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for thinking of me. The fact that you're out on your walk, you're doing your inner work, and you're thinking of me, like, thank you so much. One of them was saying, these questions, as I reflect on what you've shared, I actually feel really good about where I'm at in my life right now. And I'm so happy about that. And it was like a highlight for them to see that things are good right now, because they actually articulated to me that a lot of the time that's not the case. And they would have welcomed being able to dive into that work to get some clarity. But me asking them these questions or giving this offering up of some internal work for them helped them see how good things really were. And yet another person who I love and admire so much said, thank you so much for sending this. This is, I know, something very important to you, this type of work, these types of questions, but it doesn't really resonate with me. And what was cool about that were two things. Number one, that she knew what was for her and what wasn't. Even though someone close to her had shared it, she didn't just immediately jump on the bandwagon saying, oh, well, because Sheila said I should look at these, I'm definitely going to do it. She ran it through her inner filter. And that was beautiful because it showed me that she has a very deep connection to those things that are for her in any given time. And the second thing that I thought was so cool was that she could tell me immediately. She didn't have to worry, if I don't, if I say this, maybe Sheila's going to be upset, or I'll just say, oh yeah, thanks. I'll do that, because I think she also knows that I may possibly ask her. So what came up for you? If you feel like sharing, like I never force people to share, obviously, what's going on in their inner world. I feel like a lot of my close people in my life, and of course my clients, feel comfortable doing that. It's just something that they've told me they feel comfortable in my presence sharing those things. So I thought that was so great. She was authentic and she felt totally 100% confident that she could tell me that and I would be A-okay with it. And I said, I just love your honesty and I love your heart. Thank you so much for articulating that. Someone else said, wow, I'm going to need to sit with these, but this is coming at the perfect time. I actually want to share with you what comes up for me. I'm just going to take some space on this and take it on a walk. I said, great. You don't have to share it with me. I just wanted to offer it, but I'm here for you. You're my dear friend. Absolutely. And yet another person, so everybody's replying to me. Another person said, oh my goodness, I'm actually in the midst of asking these similar questions. Whoa, the timing is uncanny. And then another one, literally right. The reason why I'm actually, doing this, filming this right now is because I just got another message and someone said, the timing is so perfect for this. And she shared some things that were coming up for her. And so why am I sharing this story? And why am I so excited about it? It's number one, being so grateful for the people in my midst who are tuned in to themselves, knowing what is for them at any given time, really trusting themselves. And also that I get to have these deeper conversations, because these are things that I love to chat about. These are things like that I feel are so impactful because it matters how we show up in the world. It matters if we are living our purpose, because it's not only about us. It's about the impact we make on the other people. So that's why I'm excited. And I wanted to share it with you. I'm not going to share all the questions. That's maybe for another day. The main thing I wanted to share with you is this, and this is the key of this mini-sode, that I want you to carry this message, or invite you to carry this message through this week, is how are you building self-trust with you? One of the ways is to be able to speak to what is for you and what is not for you at any given time, and to know that deeply. One of the ways you can do that is by being still with yourself on a regular basis, whatever that looks like: morning, night, meditation, prayer, just sitting in silence, yoga, whatever does it for you. Because when you do that, your inner compass is really much more aligned, and you get to hear from a spiritual sense what is for you and what isn't. And you're not just dragged along into the next idea or the next thing that maybe is just taking all of your energy and stopping you from the brilliance that you're meant to be stepping into, or the simple ways that life can be easy and you can be even more successful in the ways that you're looking to be successful. And the other piece of this is, as you build your self-trust, everything else in your life becomes magnified. You get to see, how are you doing in the other areas of your life? And so the final piece I would love for you to take away for this week is, as you get still, as you're tuned in, when you have a soul hit to do something, like when you, like I was, when you feel called to make the phone call, to have the conversation, to help the person, to stop in at someone's home or to walk in the door of wherever it may be, to step into someone's office, trust yourself. Heed the call. You never know what's on the other side. And someone is waiting, perhaps, for the message that you have for them. You just never know. And even if the message isn't for them, it's an opportunity for them to tune in to themselves, to see what is for them, and to help them build their next level of self-trust. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I am so excited about the things coming as this year is starting to ramp up in the most easeful, beautiful, juicy way. I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling attuned to those things that are for you this year. Again, getting still to do so. And one of the ways that I believe is really powerful to do it is through going through a bit of a journaling experience and a meditation. And so I created something like this for you. It's called the Embodied Success Method. And I invite you to download it. You'll see it at the link in the show notes. And if you're watching this live, you can just put the word method in the comments or DM me the word method, and I can send it over to you also. I am so thrilled that I get to do this, because seeing people lit up and tuned in is one of the most magnificent ways to spend my days. So thank you for listening. I hope you're having a beautiful start to your week and to your year. And we'll have another episode for you on Wednesday, where we're going to be diving into some even more topics that are related to your growth, your trajectory, and how you want to look, feel, connect this year. And by look, I mean how you want to be looking, like through your eyes. What is your vision for the year? Once you're tapped into it, so many things are possible. So thanks for listening. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll see you on the next episode. Big blessings.